Thoughts on Snapchat?
Immediately no.
You just text them the photo if it's so benign.
Snapchat is a red flag.
Anybody tries to tell you anything other than that, you can send a photo of your beer in your group chat if it's that important.
Welcome back to the episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Cheers! Pink.
It's so sad because only the people that watch us versus listen can see the enjoyment on my face about these flavors I get to try every week.
The new color. I love seeing what color you've chosen.
I know. Isn't it so pretty? It's the rosé flavor.
Oh, rosé. Like rosé?
Well, I might be dumb. Is R-O-S-A rosé or is that Rosa?
I think that's Rosa. I think rosé is the E with the hyphen above it.
I've been calling it rosé this entire time. Oh my God, it's ultra rosa.
Yeah, does it taste like strawberry? Like, I think it's ultra red, right?
Yeah, it's like don't get it confused with the ultra red flavor, but it's like a strawberry flavor. The ultra red is cherry.
Okay, yeah. You know how to spell rosé. You love rosé.
I think I was getting confused because the hyphen was above the A, so I thought it was trying to be fancy.
Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm not a great speller or reader, so.
Me either. It's totally fine. That one's good? You like this one? I haven't had this one.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's sweet. If you like strawberry sweetness, this is a good flavor to drink.
Kind of like a taste of summer.
Oh my God, yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. I love like the sweet, anything sweet in the summertime, I'm a sucker for.
I agree. I completely agree. Okay, what's going on with you?
Well, I need to ask, how do you feel?
Pregnancy's not my journey. It's not my journey. It's my journey. It's a tough journey. So I don't feel great. Like, I think some people.
How's your carpal tunnel?
It's definitely still there. Yeah, I mean, it's getting a little bit worse, but people have sent me like these like wrist guards and things you can use, but I don't think they would really help me. Here's the thing about the pregnancy thing. It's just like one of those things that it's a little short-term issue for like a long-term gain. And I've talked to a lot more people that are like, listen, I was sick every single day. And so it's just like, okay, it might just be 9 months of like really not funness, and that's okay.
Well, and you might have the best second pregnancy of your life. Like, you might have the second baby when that time comes one day and you'd be like, this is a breeze. What the heck? This is awesome.
Well, I watched this video that my friend Katie Beach made, and she was like, okay, first pregnancy was like really tough. You isolate socially, your body aches, like you don't feel like doing anything. But the second pregnancy, because you have like a little toddler running around, you have to get up every day. And you have to like go outside, like see the park. So you don't even really have that much time to think about how bad you feel. So I think it kind of changes your mindset. Like, you don't do the sit there and like it hurts. So that made me feel better. Like, second pregnancy was better for her. So hopefully that's that way for me.
Have you entered your third trimester yet?
No, I have 4 weeks. And so the end of June, I'm there.
Will you feel better? Do the doctors think in your third, or does it get worse? Like,
well, the whole thing is after your first trimester, like you're supposed to feel better. And I just have decided it's probably like, I'm definitely better than I was in the first trimester, but I'm not like where I thought I would be. So I've just kind of decided if I feel like this every day until the baby comes, like that's just the normal.
So how was it then with having your whole family there and kind of in a way hosting?
So, okay, there was 2 things happening at once, right? And it was like, we had the baby shower up here, and then we had my family up here, like to meet his family. And the family meeting, like, it was great. The first dinner was awesome. Like, everyone was talking a lot, playing like musical chairs. Like, it went really wonderfully. And then other than that, like, there's nothing like notable, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone,
which is perfect.
Yeah, right. Like, it's just like, it was great. And then, but the shower was like, his mom and sister just threw this, like, I call it like a 15 out of 10. It was just like thoughtful and sweet. And like, I felt really welcome into the family. And like, I met all of his mom's friends and their family. And it was just this like really magical moment, like probably the best day since I've been pregnant so far. So it was really, really sweet. And I'm going to share this with you because Harrison asked me like, what's one thing that girls can do to like throw a good baby shower? And I was like, budget aside, right? Like they had beautiful pink flowers everywhere. And it meant so much to me and I loved it. And I called the tables like spunky. But they also had these cookies where they were boxing gloves, like cowboy hats and cowboy boots. And then they were little Polaroid pictures of Harrison and I. And it was like those little details, like even if you didn't want to do custom cookies, but you just had like Polaroids of people as like a baby, it was so thoughtful. Like you just felt really thought about. And so it's like the little details meant like so much.
Your baby shower looked unbelievably stunning. I was like in utter shock. I'm like, well, I actually wasn't, because like anytime that your mom's involved, and Harrison's mom seems to be incredible with planning and designs, I wouldn't expect anything less. But I am like, they should go into business, because that was one of the most beautiful showers I've ever seen.
His mom and sister did it. And like, I just felt really understood by them. Do you know what I mean? Like I walked in and I was like, you guys get me. Like this is what I would have done for myself. And it's rare that somebody can do for you what you would have done for yourself, right? Like you're like, wow, it was better than I would have done for myself. But do you know what I mean? When you're like, oh, this is exactly like how I feel.
It was very Alex. Like I looked at it and I actually thought your mom had planned it and designed it, because it was so you. And just like what you had on and what everyone was wearing, I'm like, I could not expect anything more perfect for you. It was so beautifully done.
It was light, bright, and airy and like floral. Do you know what I mean? And the place, it's called the Tea House here, but it reminds you exactly of Tavern on the Green in New York. Like it's that green, you're in a park, you're in Stanley Park here, and it's like the green awnings and the big windows. So it was really special. It was nice.
Do boys go to baby showers? How does that work?
So
like, did your dad go?
The boys went, okay, this was really good that they did. Like the guys, both our dads, my brother and Harrison, went golfing during it. And then they came for the last 30 minutes and like said hi. And Harrison brought flowers. And like, I always love when the guy like pops by at the end, but he's like not there for the whole thing. Cause like, it's so girly.
Yeah. Well, and then you got to spend time with Harrison's mom and sister and meet all the other girls in the family. And like your mom got to bond with them. So I'm sure it was just so fun.
It was so fun. And his aunts gave us our stroller, right? But they didn't bring the stroller to the shower because everything ships to my parents' house. And they brought us, like, they sent baby photos of him and baby photos of me to this AI company. And they had them like make what our baby will look like, you know? And like they brought me that picture like in a stroller. And I thought, what a good idea for somebody to do for baby showers too, is like, you know, have like a robot generated version of their baby. Like I thought it was so cute.
Okay, I was going to ask you where you're putting the presents, because you obviously don't have like, well, I don't think you have like assigned home in Austin, right? So you're just having everything sent to mom and dad's?
Yeah, we were going to send it here, but then like to ship it from Canada is a mess. So everything's just going to my parents right now, and it's just like piles. But when we get the place, we'll ship it there. But yeah, I'm in like such like disarray right now, but I know that it gets less and less the more we hone in on where we're going to live. Just like get the place.
Yeah. Well, and then I feel like your life will be able to, well, actually, no, because then you have a baby. I was going to say slowly calm down.
I know, but you know what I'm about to do? This guy reached out. There's like this nanny finder in Austin, and you have to like pay a fee to find the nanny. And he was like, if you'll post about it, I'll waive your fee. And I was like, wow, like I've always wanted to do this, but I didn't want to pay the fee. And so we're going to do that. I'm like so excited about this nanny finder thing in Austin, because I've never done anything like that. And you get like 6 to 8 candidates, and he like interviews you and then interviews them. And like it's kind of like dating. Like he sees if you're compatible, and then he like matches you accordingly. And that's like one thing I'm just like so freaking excited about.
You're like, the only nannies I'm accepting are women over the age of 60 or gay men. I'm just kidding.
Do not give me like some little hot. I'm just kidding. I remember one of my friends said that back in the day. She was like, I just don't want like a cute little nanny running around. And I didn't really get why. Like I get it from the sense of like the stereotype of like the nanny. But now I get it because I just am a mess every day. And I will be after. Like you listen, I don't feel like super cute right now. And I don't think I'm going to feel any cuter afterwards when I'm wearing a diaper. So I don't want like to look at this cute little like put together nanny and just be like, bah! Like it won't motivate me. It'll make me want to cry.
Well, also too, like if my kids are going to not love someone else more than me, but you know how like sometimes like the kids are like, I want to be with the babysitter, like I want it to be an old woman or a man, like I don't want it to be a cute little teenager where I'm like, you better not like Stacy more than me, I'm your mother.
Right. Or like they take her to school and like they drop her off, and like if I have like a little blonde kid, right, and then I have like a cute little blonde nanny, and that teacher's like, oh, I thought that was your mom, I'll be like, you thought that like I'm her mom, I am her only mother. Nobody else. You don't get to think. So I'm just like, and I never got why we cared about the nannies. But now, not like, what?
Oh, sorry. I would say TV did us dirty.
They did. Not like, but also I think it would be so fun to have a nanny that like does come in and tells me what she did that weekend. Like also would be really fun. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going to land. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I also like a mutual friend of one of my good friends. I don't know if she nannied or I think she did, of an influencer. And I think this was when she was like 16, and she was like, it was the most fun job I ever had because you just get to have fun with the kids all day, and you get to see all the cool things like the mom does, and you get to see all these PR packages. And I'm like, anyone who's your nanny, if they're at like a relatively young age, if you choose that, will have like so much fun.
Oh, if I could go back and do something, like I agree, being a nanny would be the best, because it's like you full time get to take care of like these cute little kids.
Yeah. I was a nanny.
You were? I'm shocked. When were you a nanny?
It was horrible. I was a nanny, and I can't remember if it was when I was in high school or if this was post college. I think it was high school. I think it was junior, senior year. And it was my brother's best friend's younger brother. And he tormented my life. Like he was just a little devil child. And I remember I would get home from nannying him, because I would nanny him all day in the summer. And I would look at my mom and be like, I am never having kids. Because he would threaten to throw the cats off of like the stairwell, and he would like run away from me. And he was such an active kid. I would drive him everywhere, and he would have friends over, and I was like, I can't. I would come back exhausted.
Oh, I bet, because how old was he?
He was in middle school. They pretty much just needed me for a chauffeur, but he was so go. So I was with him all day, but I think he was probably like 10.
Yeah. Okay.
11.
Okay. I think like the fun age would be like when they're like 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's when they are little like SHITs, and you're just like I remember I babysat a kid, and she hid behind the mailbox, and I couldn't find her. And I just remember thinking like I've lost the child. Like you think your world's over. And it's like at 10, they're like smart enough to torment you.
Yeah. Well, also too, I worked at a daycare, and it was the ages of like infants all the way to 5. And like the little 3-year-olds would be like, Miss Jordyn, I just pooped my pants. We wiped my butt. And I'm like, you're a stranger. I don't want to touch your poopy butt.
Oh my gosh. No wonder you didn't want kids for a while. You were tormented by them.
Or they would just be like, you come in without makeup one day, and they're like, you look different today. And I'm just like, or like just say mean things too. And you're like, I can't handle this.
Yeah. Quick pause to talk about base, because we've all been there trying to fit everything into our carry-on bag when we're just going on that short trip and you don't want to check a bag. Well, with base, the good news is, you guys, there's room for everything. If you want to pack 15 pairs of underwear, 15 pairs of shoes, no problem. Base has you covered. And the best part is they're stylish. They keep coming out with all these new styles, and I'm always on their website, and I'm like, everything is so cute. So I have my base carry-on with me. Jordyn, you have the Weekender, right? That you love.
I'm obsessed with it because at the bottom, they have like a shoe compartment. And I think that shoes take up the most room when you're traveling. So it's so nice that they have their own little section. So I still do not have to check a bag.
Yeah, it's incredible. Finally, somebody thought of it. So you guys, right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase by visiting basetravel.com/meangirl. Base Travel, BEIS travel.com/mean girl for 15% off your first purchase. BEIS travel.com/mean girl.
Also, a little side note, they are rebranding, not rebranding, but doing a little branding for men. So if you need to get your boyfriend a gift, it's a really great gift to give someone.
That's a great idea. I was applying to be a nanny my junior year of college, and like one of my other friends was previously their nanny, or somebody was like, you should like see if Alex will do it. I don't think I volunteered. I wouldn't have like applied for that job. Now I would have. But so the girl called my friend who had done it beforehand. She was like one of my best friends, and she was like, hey, like, can you just like be a reference for Alex? And she was like, yeah, she would be the worst nanny ever. And she like told me, because she was joking, but she wasn't joking. She was like, listen, you just wouldn't be very good. And I was like, you're right. I would be terrible. Like, I just think some of us, like you to me would be a good nanny because you wouldn't mess anything up.
Yeah, I mean, I was an excellent caretaker, but I just was it was exhausting.
Yeah, you just like didn't love it.
No. But now I wish if I went back in time, I think it would be so cool to like take in a year or two off after college and nannied for like really rich people in New York City. I think that'd be so cool.
It would be, because it's so funny. Like what you're looking for is just like a responsible, like with it person. And it's just like, if you can, and like somebody to do, like if you could do it, you could get paid in New York. I think just, you're right. Like so much money, but it would be your life. Like you wouldn't have, I think some of those nanny jobs are demanding.
I think most of them, they like sleep at the people's homes, so they don't pay room or board, but then they get probably like one day off a week.
Right. And you're like always on call. But like if you could just bust it for 2 years and like save, I mean, it would be an incredible like kickstart.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Speaking of children, I guess this isn't like a great transition, but I went to the doctor about birth control. Or remember about like my PMSing?
Yes. What did they say?
Okay, so first of all, a male gynecologist is wonderful. He was like the best doctor I've ever had. If you still lived in New York, I would have highly recommended you switching to him. He was so intuitive and he asked so many questions, and when I gave him concerns, he didn't just like shut me down and be like, birth control. He was like, let's do a hormone check, like a blood hormone test. Let's do like an ultrasound, like a uterus ultrasound, not a baby ultrasound. And he was just so great. But he after like doing the hormone test and stuff, and also just like hearing my concerns, he was like, you definitely have PMD or PMDD. PMDD. And he's like, the main fix is birth control. So starting like next week, I think I'm going back on it.
How do you feel about that?
Honestly, if it removes the horrible symptoms and my horrible PMSing, I'm going to be the happiest girl in the world.
Wait, remind us, why did you get off of it?
Only because during COVID, I wasn't like seeing anyone, and like it had been like, I wasn't like having sex at all. So I was like, let's just see what my body feels like with no hormones on it. I literally just wanted to see, because also during that time, it was becoming kind of like cool to get off birth control, and birth control is kind of looked down upon. Like that was the trend. So I was like, hey, let's just see what happens.
Right. But now you're like, no, you really need it.
Oh my God. Pete was like, you can't even function. He's like, you get like one good week a month where you're like energized and happy. Other than that, it's like he'll like leave for 5 minutes and he comes back and I'm like passed out on the couch napping.
Right. Yeah, that's like, so wait, so birth control will take away, I know it'll take away like your 12-day period and all the cramps too, but it'll give you energy?
Well, it should help reduce the PMDD symptoms, which is like extreme exhaustion, heavy periods, which causes like the extreme exhaustion, mood swings, like the depressive spells, irritability. I don't get irritable too much. I just get like very like sad, and just get rid of like that icky feeling you get before your period of just like bloating and all that stuff.
Right. Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think. And do you know what brand you're going to do? Are you going to do like a brand you've done before? Or are you trying a new one?
Yeah, I'm going to get back on the mini pill, which is pretty much the IUD, but in contraceptive form, because I don't do the IUD. So it's progesterone only. And it's like the least amount of hormones you can put in your body from a form of birth control. And that's what I was on before, and I loved it.
Okay, good. Well, I hope, and this is next week you're starting it?
Yeah, you have to wait until your period starts to start birth control, so.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I was like, why don't you do it? And I always thought the small amount I took it, and we talked about this last time, but like the day you take it, the day you feel it.
I really hope so. I'm like really looking forward to seeing how long it takes to affect my body. But man, if I don't get my period anymore, I'll be happy. I'll be a very happy camper.
Oh, wait, you won't get your period anymore? Is that what happened to you on birth control?
Yeah, with the mini pill, I like just don't get my period. Or if I do, it's like one day. It was fabulous.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
Considering I like live in my tampons now.
Yeah.
Since I get my period like every 18 days.
I mean, you have, like, that's constant.
It's actually horrible. So I'm very excited, and I am very happy that I decided to go with the male gynecologist because he was wonderful.
No, I'm really excited for you, about the male. And I do think males might be a little bit, they do kind of have a target on their back, so they could be a bit better. You know, not better, right? They're both good, but like he doesn't get to have a bad day. Yeah, because he's a guy. So it is good that he like asks you these questions, and he can't really shut you down because he doesn't really know.
Right? And he actually spent time with me. Like, I swear to God, my old gynecologist in New York, she would be in and out. She'd be like, spread your legs. She'd put the thing in, take it out, and leave. Like, I was in and out in like 15 minutes with him. I was there for like 45 minutes.
Wow. You know what? I said, like, a lot of times when girls change doctors when they're pregnant, it's like a really sad and emotional experience. For me, it was like very exciting because you know what I felt like? I felt like a number at my doctor in New York. Like, I felt like I went in, I felt like she didn't even know, like I never felt like she knew what was going on. And so it's nice to hear that he spent so much time with you because it's like such a personal experience.
Yeah. So I'm very happy. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this affects you. I hope it's like all really good things. At least even halfway better would be good.
Right? Also, I have a really big update for you.
Oh, what? You broke your lease?
Wait, what'd you just say? My lease. No, unfortunately, no. I finished The Hills.
You did?
I did.
You did? Oh my God. I'm sorry actually that you finished it because you can't watch it anymore, but what'd you think?
What the heck was that last episode, or like the last 30 seconds?
Right? Did it not break your brain? Did you not think is everything a lie, or what happened?
I like truly can't tell if everything is a lie or if that was their way of making us leave brain broken, because I truly am brain broken. Like when the thing moved behind Brody and he was just in the studio, and then Kristen didn't even go to Europe. I want to like fact check. Did Kristen ever go to Europe?
I know. Wait, so have you listened to her podcast, like recapping The Hills?
No. Well, no, not The Hills. No, just Laguna Beach.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Because I was going to ask you, I don't know if she ever recapped that part.
No. So she's only really talked about Laguna Beach, and like they said a lot of that was very scripted. But The Hills, I feel like I don't know.
I don't know either.
Like, because when they ended the show, they all were like going their separate ways and didn't seem like they were all going to hang out. And I'm like, is it because you guys weren't even friends?
Right. I know. And then you just like, I remember, I think I maybe saw it 8 years ago, and I still till this day, like, I don't know what to make of it. And like, no one's ever said anything, but it's the most genius ending ever because like, we're still talking about it today. And I don't know.
Well, I was also like a little confused because Kristen was going to Europe wearing a mini white shorts and high heels. I'm like, you're not going to fly on a 6-hour or a 15-hour flight wearing that.
Surely she'd be wearing her sweatpants.
Well, and like Audrina's like, I'm not going to her goodbye party. I'm like, okay, if Kristen was actually leaving for Europe for like 3 months, everyone would be like, oh my God, I miss you so much. But everyone was just like, okay, see you later.
Yeah, it was like I know. It just made you like, you're stunned, right? And you probably kept thinking what we were talking about. And like, that's the last thing you thought was they were going to pick up and move
I thought it was going to be like Spencer finally fully confessing, or Heidi confessing that they like leaked Elsie's sex tape rumors. But Heidi and Spencer They went crazy.
Okay, wait, I don't remember this part. Tell me this.
So in season 6, Heidi comes back with like a new face. She like got a ton of plastic surgery. And then she goes to Colorado to see her mom. And it was actually like so heartbreaking because her mom was so mean about it. And I'm like, okay, plastic surgery is kind of irreversible, or irreversible. Is that a word?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you're making fun of your daughter's appearance that she's so proud of. Like, what do you think? She's going to want to have a relationship with you after this? And Heidi's like crying. And it was like heartbreaking to see that happen. So then her relationship starts to fade with them. Steph, Spencer's sister, gets a DUI. And Spencer was like, if you ever get a DUI again, I'm cutting off our relationship. So then he cuts his relationship off with his family. And then they start getting super into like religion and crystals. And Spencer gets like a nasty temper and starts being like, I'm gonna freak out. I'm freaking out. I hate everyone. And then you never see them again.
I forgot about all of that. He's still into the crystals. You still go shop those. Talk about a man on a mission. I mean, 15 years later. I forgot. Okay, so the one I remember is Heidi going home. And I remember watching that, and it was so heartbreaking the way her mom was, because you're right, it was already done.
And it's like, I can't remember what her mom's name is, but it's like Heidi's mom. If you already know how crazy and possessive Spencer is and how much you're like pushing everyone away, you would think that she would be like, I don't agree, but I support you and I'm here for you and I love you no matter what, to keep that relationship. Because by the end of it, Heidi wasn't talking to Holly, her mom, no one.
And I don't even know, like, at that point, why even say I don't agree with you? Like, it is done.
Right? It just made me so sad because you could kind of see like Heidi and Spencer's mental health evaporating throughout the seasons. And there was a few comments that Heidi made where she was like, I just can't take this anymore. And I think the way I look at it is like she was referring to like this reality show life that they were living, because I think they finally were like, we're done. We're not even finishing this season, because it was like truly messing them up. And I think that's like why Lauren left. And it was really sad to see everyone's mental health just get so messed up from this.
Let's talk about ZocDoc, because you guys, there's nothing more important than finding a good doctor, one that's verified, certified, and easy to find and easy to get into. So, you know what you do? You go to ZocDoc. If you're that one friend that likes to treat yourself to the spa or something, look no further, because now true self-care looks like finding a good doctor for yourself, because taking care of yourself pays off long term and it pays dividends every single time. So we all know in life you have to compromise on things, but one thing you should not have to compromise on is finding a good doctor, because it's the most important thing. So ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments online. I think that finding people that are in network, like I had the hardest time doing that, and I kept using ZocDoc, and it just makes it all the more easy. We're actually doing that with a dentist this week. So once you find the doctor you want, you can book them immediately. No more waiting. No more having to stay on hold with the receptionist. All you have to do is just use the app and you can book it. So go to ZocDoc.com/meangirl. That's ZocDoc.com/meangirl. Or download the ZocDoc app for free and then book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/meangirl. ZocDoc/meangirl, or get the app. Okay, well, hold on. Remind me to talk about the mental health thing. But what I was going to say about Heidi and Spencer is like, they're such, so like at the time, the whole internet was like, they'll never make it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like when it was happening in real time. But you fast forward to today and they're like still together. Genuinely look happy. Like when she does like a reel with both of them in it or something, it's like, that's not fake.
And she looks kind of normal again.
She looks normal again. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like in real time, we're so quick to judge, like they won't make it. But we would be sitting here saying if they didn't make it, like, of course they weren't going to make it. And it's just like, you never know in the moment where these people are going to end up, but we're like so fast to judge and say it. Like, I feel like the same thing happens to Hailey Bieber and Justin all the time. And it's just like, okay, well now they're having a kid. Everyone said they were over. And it's just like these people keep going, and it's just like how the internet's narrative can be so off, and like we just create it in our heads.
Well, and also too, like, their poor mental health. Like, I have a feeling that like Adrena was done with Justin, but I bet the producers kept forcing them together. And same with Kristen and Brody. Like, I feel like Brody was done with Kristen, but Kristen kept holding on to it. And it's like, are these real relationships, or is this the producers forcing it and messing with your head? But it was just so sad to like truly see, out of all the characters, like Heidi and Spencer's, like their mental health was going down the drain so fast. Like Spencer was getting so skinny, and Heidi, like, I'm like, this show like could probably broke them for a while.
Oh my gosh, totally. And now that you say that too, like how much they were messing with them, it's pretty incredible that I would say all of the cast turned out as normal, so to speak, as they did. Like, we don't have one in rehab right now, do we? I don't think.
No, I know. I believe Audrina was in an abusive relationship, but she's out of it and has spoken about it. So, like, that's incredible. Lo has, like, her own vaginal health company. She sells at Target. Lauren Conrad and Whitney have, like, fashion brands. Kristen is extremely famous. Heidi and Spencer, they're doing their thing. Brody Jenner is happy with a baby and wife. I've like stalked all of them so hardcore. They all seem, Jason went to rehab and he's like sober.
Oh, is it yes.
Lauren's ex?
Yes, he did. And he's like now a speaker.
Yeah.
So they must have all lived like relatively normal lives, and then really just been like cast, like they must have had good parents. Like they all maintained, despite having this like mass amount of fame that happened to them in high school. Like I'm pretty impressed with the way they all turned out.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 14 years since the last episode aired. But yeah, I was shook. I'm like, is this a joke? The ending?
I know, like, is everything a lie? But then it's not, because you do go look at their Instagrams and you're like, okay, they are like, they're not actors. It was a reality show.
Well, and like Lauren doesn't even follow like anyone except Lo. So I think she actually did totally break ties with Spencer and Heidi and Audrina, like, and Brody. Like, I think that her leaving was very real. Like, she was like, I'm done with this. This is affecting my mental health.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it was all. I think they showed a lot of real stuff. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think my guess is what happened is they really wanted the show to keep going, so they maybe added some false narratives and drama to keep a storyline. Because I feel like the beginning of the show was pretty realistic, but then towards the end, I was like, all right, like, is this actually real? Like, who are these people?
Right. No, I know. I totally agree. So, what are you gonna do now that you're done, though?
Cry.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't know. Find another show to watch, but that's the only reality show that I've ever enjoyed watching, and it was so good. That was my little family.
I know there's not really one else to like recommend. It's even close to it. Like, you don't really want to watch Very Cavallari. Did you ever watch that?
Oh my God, I forgot about that show.
Yeah, I mean, I watched every episode.
What was that on? Bravo?
No, I don't.
E.T.?
I don't know what it was on. Jay Cutler's the breakout star there, I think.
I maybe will watch that.
Yeah, you could watch it. Like, you really could watch it. Because, oh, no, it's actually, I mean, for me to watch every episode must mean it was, like, not boring. Yeah, you should try that.
Because that's where Shannon Ford came from, right?
Yes. I forgot about that. She did come from there. Yep. And
wow.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And yet again, Kristen, leave it to Kristen. Like, she doesn't shy away from anything.
I love Kristen. She is crazy, but I love her.
Yeah, you should watch it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I will. That'd be fun. But yeah, overall, very great show. I'll be sad, but I'll move on.
Yeah, you'll find another world to like live in, because you do live in these worlds when you're watching the shows.
Maybe we could get Kristen to come on Mean Girl Pod and we could ask her a bunch of questions.
It's just like a 10-hour episode.
She's like, I'm not answering any of these, because if I did, I would just say it on my own podcast.
Yeah, she's like, no, you guys aren't groundbreaking on this front. And we're like, oh, darn.
I'm dead. Okay, so the other part, or the other question I wanted to dive into, is we got this really great listener question that obviously I'm gonna make you read, not me, about people. So the other day we posted on the story, we're like, give us the listener questions, and there were so many about people, one, feeling lost after college, lost in their 20s, and lost with their careers. And I feel like that's something we haven't really like taken too much time to talk about. So I was like, that might be a really great topic, because you and I have lived kind of a lot of lives and taken some pretty massive steps to make changes that made us happier, but maybe society didn't really agree with at the time.
Yeah, totally. So do you want me to read?
Yeah, read the one that I texted you.
This one. I feel super lost in my career right now. I'm 3 years out of college and I feel like I can't get what I want financially and creatively. I am super career driven and want to do something I love and feel super passionate about work. I've looked for new jobs and haven't really found anything. The job market sucks right now, especially working in digital marketing, because it's super popular for newer graduates in our generation in general. What advice do you have for someone who wants to find a new job or feels unfulfilled in their current role?
I feel like not to be dramatic, but the worst year, 2 years of my life were the two post college graduation. I mean, no one prepares you for that change. You're in college every day with your friends, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to become an adult.
Yeah, and I think what happened was we watched a lot of people on TikTok become overnight successes. And so, and they're your age, right? So you look online, these people you follow, and they're driving G-Wagons with like their Miami beachfront house. And then you compare yourself to that and you feel like a failure. And it's like, actually what has to happen though is like Vera Wang. She didn't like do her first design till she was 40. And now she's like iconic, right? And so it's like we put all this pressure on ourselves right after college to go prove ourselves and be successful, when in reality, a lot of the greats, so to speak, took like a ton of time to climb.
Yeah, I feel like I was listening to this podcast. I think it was someone you actually recommended it to me, like when Just Media was just starting, and this man was saying that the above app, like majority of people who become millionaires don't make $1 million until they're like 45. And you have all these people being like, I need to be a millionaire, and at 21, 22, because that's like all we're seeing on social media. And also, like, you have to remember your career is going to be 40 to 50 years of your life. It's going to take a long time to get where you want to be. Like, I know you and I weren't in our dream careers when we first graduated out of college. Like, it can take people sometimes the majority of their whole life to even get to a career that they feel fulfilled in.
Well, and you're so right. Like, imagine, because I think you have to gather along the way like perspective and knowledge, right? Like, if you would have put us as like Mean Girl hosts when we were 20, we would have skipped like really important parts of our perspective that we share on here. And so, like, at the time, while we all want to snap our fingers and like things fall into place, it's really important that they don't, because it's the only way we learn. Like, you can't start on the 90-yard line on the 100-yard dash. Like, you have to run the whole thing, or else you miss like a really important part of the race. And a lot of people that start on that 90, like, you can tell later in life, you can be like, oh, you missed the part where we grinded.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I was in corporate insurance for 4 years, and those were the worst for. Worst is a strong word, but those were the most unhappy 4 years of my life career wise, but I wouldn't change them for the world, because it taught me so much, and it actually did help prepare me for our career later on, because it gave me, and I know you were the same way with your job, like traditional skills that actually helped us a lot working on the podcast and content creation that a lot of people wouldn't get if you didn't have a traditional corporate job.
Exactly. And I'm trying to find an article right now, because you can find people that became successful after 40, like age 40. And
I like that.
And these aren't like Martha Stewart, Vera Wang again, but I'm not reading like any ones that we would like that are.
Wait, how old was Martha Stewart?
Let me see. She's on like all of these. Because you assume Martha, I don't know, like Oprah. Could you tell me on the top of your head when Oprah made it? Like, I can't.
No.
But why do I assume she was 20? Like, I have no idea.
Right? Well, that's the thing. It's like since all we see these days are TikTokers and influencers who are very young, we just all assume that if you don't make it when you're 23, you're never going to make it. I think that's why I do love comedians so much, because a lot of comedians, it takes them the majority of their life to get to where they are. Like Shane Gillis is, I think, in his 40s, and he just came out with his own Netflix show. Like, that's incredible. But he grinded for probably 25 years.
Yeah. So it says Martha Stewart worked on Wall Street and owned a Connecticut catering firm, but her real success came after the age of 41 with the publication of her first book, Entertaining, and the launch of Martha Stewart Living 7 years later. So she didn't launch Martha Stewart Living until she was 48.
Wow. Well, and too, like, a lot of people, when you graduate college, you just need a job to help you live. Like, a lot of people don't have the privilege of, like, getting out of college and either being able to live with their parents or having the support from their parents. So, like, I know when I graduated, I just got the job that paid me the most money. I was like, I just, one, need a job, and two, I need a job that pays the bills, and corporate insurance was the one that was there for me to go into.
Yeah. No, it's so true. Like, you just, and I do think this process of like having to wait weeds out a lot of the week. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people give up and just say, I'll take that job by the time I'm 28. I'll just take whatever job that like pays me, instead of being like, no, I do have a dream. Like Samuel Jackson, it said he didn't book Pulp Fiction until he was 46, and that was like his big break.
That's incredible.
But he must have kept going, you know. And it's just like we assume all of these people were just 21 and made it.
Well, and I think too, if you're ever hard on yourself, because this is what I used to do, is pick something you're passionate about. Like when I was post-college, I was very passionate about podcasting. So pick an area you're passionate about, and then find someone that you want to be, but that maybe isn't like your age. So for example, I've talked about how much I love Girls Gotta Eat, like Ashley Hasseltine and Raina Greenberg. They were in their upper 30s, or they were in their 30s when I fell in love with them. I was like 23. And I was like, I love them because they are living my dream, but they are not my age. So I know I have time to make it to my dream. And it was just so much less pressure. And they were just like two role models that were a lot older than me, that I was like, okay, they aren't putting pressure on me to like live my dream at this young age.
Totally agree. And I think it's like, when you see people above you, it's reality. Like, you're like, oh, that's realistic for me.
Yeah, like Brittany Schmidt and Brittany Furlan, who did This Is the Worst, are in their upper 30s, and they just started their podcast together for the first time.
Totally. And yeah, exactly. And it's just like this overnight success of like these TikTok things at like 21, 22. It's just like, that's not the reality. And like,
no,
don't compare yourself to that. Like, think about all these people. Like, I wonder when Warren Buffett actually like made his first million. Warren Buffett age at first,
probably older, I would assume. I'm gonna guess 40 something.
Oh, he made his first million at the age of 32. But still, that's not 20. That's,
well, and back then, like, that, it was a different time.
It was a way different time. But yeah, wow. How rich was he?
Yeah.
Oh, when he was 21, he had $20,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty incredible. So it took him 10 years. 10 years. And he was probably sitting there at 26 saying, I've been trying to do this for 5 years and I've gotten nowhere.
Yeah. I think when you're post-college or in your 20s, or even if you're in your 30s and confused, I think you just have to realize, like, there's no specific timeline to follow, and you just like can't be hard on yourself. Like, I remember I would literally sit in my car and cry like every day for like 4 years straight. But as long as you have a vision or a goal or a dream in mind, and you're doing little things every day to get you there, I think that's the most important part. Because for my first 2 years, I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there miserable and feeling bad for myself. But then the next 2 years, I was like posting on TikTok, and even though I didn't have a following, I was like, at least I'm doing something small every day to get me to a place that I want to be. And then thankfully, due to my boring job that paid a decent amount of money, I was able to save money and then move to New York City on a whim with a very low paying job before I started at Barstool.
Yeah, that's a really good example of like, if you can't see the whole journey, just see the next step, which I think is like the key. I wish somebody would have told me that in my 20s of like, you didn't see where you ended up, but you did know every day, like make a TikTok, save a little bit of money. And it's just like, you don't have to know where that lands you, but you do every single day, like have to be consistent, and it will pay off.
Yeah. And as hard as it is, you just can't compare yourself to the people you see on the internet because you don't know their life or their background. I mean, for all you know, like the girl that you are comparing yourself to who has 1 million followers living in New York City could really have her parents be paying for her rent and have like a rich famous aunt. You never know, you know what I mean?
Or she could be killing it on, like, she could be making $3 million in brand deals, but she's miserable.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. No one's life is perfect.
No. But man, it's hard because, yeah, I feel like no one really prepares you for those post-college blues, but they're real and they're hard because it's a massive life change, and it's the first time in your life you're not with your friends every day and you're working and you're not going to school. It's just, it's a hard transition for your brain.
Totally. Well, you've never done it before.
Yeah.
It's like the first time. Yeah, it's so true. And I think even if people tell you that they aren't having the post-college blues, like, maybe it won't hit them right then. It'll hit them 2 years later. But, like, there's going to be a time in your 20s where it's going to hit you.
Yeah. And two, I think if you are that person who is so lucky to have, like, a dream right out of college and you are lucky enough to, like, be supported in some way, like, take the lower paying job. Don't take the job that pays more money that will make you miserable. Like, start at the bottom because in 3 years you'll be where you want to be. Like, I wish I would have done that. Like, I wish I would have, if I could go, actually I wouldn't change anything if I could go back in time, but I wish I would have allowed myself more time to be like, Jordyn, maybe you should, like, take a lower paying job in a creative industry versus a higher paying job in the insurance industry.
Right. No, I totally hear you there. It's really important.
Yeah, it's just there's just so much pressure put on people.
Oh, no question. And social media just makes it worse.
Yeah, but you're not alone. Everyone goes through it.
Totally.
Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was someone sent us like a list of relationship questions.
Yeah, that was cute.
And I want to like do like rapid fire answer each one at a time.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Is it possible to get back together after trust was broken?
I feel like yes, but it depends on how serious the trust was or like what was broken.
Yeah, I say yes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, should you cut contact with an ex if the breakup is amicable?
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I think you can never be friends with an ex, and you really shouldn't ever be friends with an ex. They left your life for a reason.
Yeah, you gotta let them go, especially if you have a new partner. You have to cut the tie, no matter how amicable it was, I think.
I mean, you saw Kristen and Brody. They weren't even able to ever get a new relationship because they just kept being friends.
Yeah, it's so bad. You've got to, like, I know it hurts in the moment, but, like, let it go.
Literally. Yeah, you can't be friends with an ex.
Can guys have girl best friends?
You also no, they can't.
No, I agree with you there. No. The older we get, the more it's a no. No.
That's actually a good point. The older you get, the more it becomes weird. Like maybe when you're like 22, but at 30, it's like, no.
Like, absolutely not.
Can you imagine if Harrison like brings you to Canada and he's like, Alex, this is my best friend. Her name's like Sam, and you think it's a guy this entire time. She like comes out, it's a girl.
I would be like, what? No. Yeah, the older you get, the definitely not. Like, no. Oh. And anyone that tries to justify it, no. What counts an inappropriate text from girl best friends to guys?
Anything that you wouldn't want your partner to see.
Yeah, anything you wouldn't send in a group chat with the both of them.
Ooh, that's it. That's a good way to vet it.
But I think about this like these days, I just put them in a group chat most of the time.
Right?
Yeah, like unless I had like a work question for someone that like could be an email thread. I'm trying to think. Yeah, or like a happy birthday text. But most of the time it's a group text.
I agree. Yeah, Yeah, I really like what you said though. If you can't go in the group chat, it's inappropriate.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thoughts on Snapchat? Oh, I have thoughts on Snapchat.
Immediately no.
You just text them the photo if it's so benign.
Right? I think it's so weird for a guy to have Snapchat and a girl to have Snapchat at this age.
It is.
Sorry, Julie.
Yeah. Does she have it? Oh.
Unless you're like talking to your friends long distance.
I was gonna say
for pictures.
That's like a group chat with her girls.
Yeah.
Of her dog.
I used to do group chats with my friends. Because when I moved to New York, it was easier. But like Pete's not having Snapchat.
Oh, no. No. Yeah, thoughts on Snapchat, and it's not close. And if anybody tries to tell you anything other than that, you can send a photo of your beer in your group chat if it's that important.
Exactly. Snapchat is a red flag.
Yeah. How to stop comparing yourself to others who are getting married and having babies, and you're recently single.
Oh, that's hard. I dealt with that when I lived in Minnesota because a lot of my friends were having babies because I was from like the North Dakota, Minnesota area. And I mean, it's the way I thought of it, it's kind of messed up, but I used to just be like, well, I mean, they can't go out or have as much fun or like I just thought of things that I could do without having a baby.
Do you know what I very much felt this whenever I got divorced was like, whoa, my timeline just got pushed back like 12 years, right? Because like then I was single and all my friends were like still married and having kids. But then like fast forward to now, you never know what timing will do. Like things can change in a day. And so I think like if you just stay the course of like you are where you're supposed to be, and you can't really fight that, because the other option is you force it with the wrong person, and that's like a life of misery. So what you have to do is be patient and then wait. Like things happened with you and Pete, like just you went from not knowing him to knowing him, and then everything changed.
Yeah, and you also have to figure out, like, why are you actually jealous? Like, are you jealous because you actually want kids, you want a partner, you feel lonely? And if it is, like, you just feel lonely, like, try to fill that void of, like, spending more time with your family or finding different friends, or maybe spending more time with the friend that you're jealous of.
Yeah, like, the timing will, it will work itself out.
Yeah. No, I like those.
Yeah, that was cute. That was really good.
I have more questions for you.
Oh, what are they?
So for my rec this week, I've been really getting into like thought-provoking icebreaker questions.
Okay.
And I have 3 for you that I want to ask.
Okay, I love this.
And if you're someone listening, these are really good questions to ask on like a girls trip or on a first date. I didn't come up with these. I found these all on TikTok. This girl is like, these are great icebreakers for first dates or when you first meet someone. Okay. So the first one is, if you had to wash your brain with hot or cold water, what would you wash it with?
Hot,
and why?
Hot, because it kills germs.
Oh my God, that's like what my mom and Pete said.
Oh, really?
I said cold because my brain, I feel like it's always on fire for just like having a million thoughts at once, and I need to cool it off.
Oh, like a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's wow. It actually makes my head hurt to think about both of those. Ooh.
What is one moment in history that you wish you could go back and watch? Like, you wouldn't like live it, you just like be able to observe it, and it doesn't have to be like a presidential election historic moment. It could be like a concert.
I want to watch Princess Diana's car wreck, but I want to know what happens like before it.
Oh, that's a good one.
What do you want to watch?
Mine was one of the massive Queen concerts.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be iconic. So iconic.
And then my last question for you is, what's one unsolved mystery that you wish would be solved?
Okay, wait. The Hills ending. I'm just kidding. One unsolved mystery.
RT.
Okay, I think there's this whole thing about like, did we actually go to space? Like, did we go? I would love to know if we did or not. What about you?
Yes. Well, quick before I share mine, I just learned that there's a new so I'm like so into conspiracies, and I would love to know if we actually went to space. But there's this conspiracy theory that, you know, the group of people that went up into space and one was like a female teacher and it blew up and died. Everyone died. People think that that never actually happened. And all of the people, since they were never actually in the spaceship, had to go into like witness protection and are still alive because people see people that look just like them all grown up now.
Really?
Yeah, because we can't actually send people up to space.
Yeah, I'm not so sure we can.
Like, I don't know if I believe that we have ever gone to space or landed on the moon.
No, I thought that for sure we had. And then Harrison and Brittany Schmidt on her birthday were like, you've got to think that through. Like, why have we not gone back?
Yes. And in American Horror Story, they have this one season where they kind of debunk some governmental conspiracies. And one of them is the landing on the moon. And they show like this whole movie set. And they're actually coming out with a movie with Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum about that in a few months. And I'm like, I can totally see it because my theory is they just wanted to beat Russia to space. So they rushed it and then never actually went.
Right.
Well, because Russia did beat us. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm with you on that. I'm not that I want, but wait, now the other one I know OJ's dead. And I'm pretty sure he did it. I just need to know for sure.
That was my first one.
Was if OJ did it, yeah.
And then I switched to I want to know what actually happened to Joan Benet Ramsey, that little girl.
Yes.
And Natalie Holloway.
Yeah, I think those are both them. Yeah, but a lot of you, I want to know what happened to both of them as well. I thought we solved Natalie.
Ramsey.
Did we not solve Natalie?
You thought what?
I thought Natalie was solved. Was it not? I thought he was.
Not that I heard.
I thought he was locked up. Is he not?
I don't know.
Wait, let me look. I think it's that guy.
Like, is Joan Benet Ramsey actually Katy Perry? Like, I need to know.
Oh, and is Paul McCartney? Did they reincarnate him? Is he a fake back when he was 25? I want to know that too.
And is Avril Lavigne actually Avril Lavigne?
Do people think she's a fake?
Yeah, they think that she's they think she died a long time ago, and there's someone else that looks like her playing her life.
Wow. Okay, that's the Paul. Hold on. Yeah, they Natalie Holloway guy in 2013 or 2023 confessed. I'm a big conspiracy theory true crime kick right now, and I just love it. It really makes my brain break, but it's fun. Oh yeah, because there's so much like unknowns out there. I'll do our next. I one time met this guy named Trey, who's KK, who my brother's marrying's like best friend, and he has this icebreaker shared note, and I've had it for like 2 years, and he updates it, and they're icebreakers. So I have like 55 icebreakers. So I'll do 3 next week.
Oh yeah, and when you're listening, let us know if you like that, because we could like end every episode with a little icebreaker question. That'd be fun, because I have a ton.
Yeah, it's really good to do. I like that a lot.
And it like shows you a lot about a person. Like, great questions to ask on dates, by the way. Like, this will make you stand out on a first date.
Totally. And it's just like,
because if they're a dud, they'll be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't. And if they don't like that game, then like, whatever.
They suck.
Yeah. Do you want to do?
Cool. I'm excited for yours.
Do you want to do Rex?
Oh, yeah. Well, so that was my rec was icebreaker questions.
Oh. Okay, I like that. My rec I watched
Since Hills is done.
Is Pain Hustlers. What? Oh, because the Hills is done.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm not so sure it's called Pain Hustlers now that I'm saying that. It's what's her name? That does that. I hate when someone says what's her name like you're supposed to know. Yeah, Emily Blunt. It's Pain Hustlers. I just watched it. It's like number 2, and see, we're used to seeing number 1 in USA and Netflix, but I'm getting number 1 in Canada Netflix things fed to me. So that was on there. So I watched it, and it was really good, and it's based on a true story. So
that's an older movie that was like on Netflix top 10 maybe like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it says 2023. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, I have a little fun fact for you. Speaking of true stories, remember that movie we both watched that we absolutely loved about the GameStop guy?
Yes.
Did you see that he just tweeted again for the first time?
No.
And GameStop their stock is like skyrocketing again.
Oh, I bet he had to take a leave of absence.
Pete was like, you got to tell Alex that, because I was like, I don't know if our listeners will care, but I got to tell Alex.
Our listeners didn't even know. Like, a lot of people just like didn't see that movie.
Right?
I feel like, but it was so good. Yeah. Oh, I see it. Yeah, Roaring Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Good for him. He was like a good guy too.
Yeah. So curious to see what will happen. But yeah, another thing, like, where'd you go? What'd you do?
Yeah. Well, probably just cashed out.
Right.
You don't want to do that twice because I don't think it happens 2 times in a row.
I think it might be illegal the second time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll go look at his tweet in a second.
Okay, cool. Wait, quick question. Where are you in Vancouver for how long?
Till Friday.
Okay. And then where's your next stop?
Austin. I'm dying right now.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm shocked. I'm like, wow, she really made it a long time.
And you're like, one more question. I'm like, I'm going to die on this TV screen here.
Okay, I don't want you to die. We have to end. Alex is going to die.
I'm going to throw up in a second.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say go eat and throw up.
Okay. It's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye. Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.